Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And so on the docket for today, I would say this is our first action-packed week of the new year because we have an update on the Spirit merger with JetBlue. We have the Marriott MGM benefits from their new partnership and what you're going to get. We have a brand new metal credit card to take a look at, so if you don't think the Platinum card is expensive enough, then boy do I have something for you. And of course, we have some new Chase Sapphire Lounges hitting the market in New York to take a look at as well. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, we will start off with the JetBlue and Spirit merger. So I'm sure we've talked about this way back when. It's not necessarily new news, but both companies or airlines did agree to a merger. Of course, all mergers like this size are, subject to regulatory approval. And this one has been blocked by the Department of Justice, or DOJ. Now, overall, we'll put up the judge's, his statement, if you will. This is from 1 mile at a time where we're getting this from, but I think this is a summary of what the issuing was. So in sum, the court has made its best attempt applying the law to the evidence in this case to predict the future of a dynamic market recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic in markedly uncertain times. For the reasons set forth above, therefore, the court rules that the proposed acquisition violates Section 7 of the Clayton Act. Spirit is a small airline, but there are those who love it. I guess, okay. To those dedicated customers of Spirit, this one's for you. Why? Because the Clayton Act, a 109-year-old statute, requires this result, a statute that continues to deliver for the American people. So if you look it up, the Clayton Act, it's really like the Antitrust Act, right? That it's set forth to try to protect consumers, protect pricing, hit market competition, guard against monopolies and things like that. So, over here in the States, again, we've got our major pillars. In like most industries have their major ones, right? But we've got Delta, United, American. And then, you need these other airlines to allegedly, be out there, give consumers other options. And so if they merge together, I guess the fear is that it would make like a fourth powerhouse and, of course, take away from, optionality that the folks have. And then those 8 people who fly Spirit also love as well. I just love that they put that in there. So, who's to say what's next for either one of them? I know Spirit was not looking good financial wise. I think because there was a real possibility that this merger was going to get blocked. There was actually a clause in their merger agreement that one of the airlines has to pay the other one, I think, about $400 million if it gets blocked. And, of course, this one did. So there is that. But, we'll see what's next for both of them. I think Ask Sebi and Mandy had, like, a review of some JetBlue Mosaic status. And it looked pretty nice. So, I think they might be in better shape than Spirit. But either way, merger has been blocked. So you're definitely not going to fly on a merged Spirit JetBlue plane to Vegas for an MGM stay. But if you manage to get there somehow, well, when you have Marriott status, we now know the new benefits you're going to have from this partnership. So remember, MGM was with Hyatt. MGM dropped Hyatt and they swapped in Marriott. So I'll put the benefit chart on screen for you. It looks the same as if you're familiar with other Marriott status charts. The thing that jumped out to me is there's really not much to be had until you get to the higher end statuses, which I guess doesn't say a whole heck of a lot because that's normally how it is. But there's really not much until you get to like Platinum and Titanium and Ambassador. Those, because I assume it's because MGM knows, hey, like everyone has Marriott Gold. I mean, they're just giving that thing away. I got Marriott Gold on my own without a credit card in the past for like a few years actually, so it's not hard to get. So again, I think you can see it was definitely Marriott brings access to a bigger customer base, I would say, than Hyatt does, even though of course Hyatt here has its loyalists because of the partnership with Chase. You do get some good values and their properties are pretty good, from what I've seen and where I've stayed. So, it's somewhat disappointing because you really don't get a lot for your status there until you're in the higher up tiers. So again, leads me to believe on their side, it was a few things. One, it was like, we want access to a larger customer base, gives Marriott something else to offer people. And number 2, they still wanted to guard against their version of overcrowding, right? Because if you give everyone the same benefits at Gold and up, well, then it's going to be way overcrowded given how popular Marriott is. So I guess I get why they did it that way. It's just kind of unfortunate because there's not really a lot to be had there, in my opinion. But again, let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm missing something or there's a perk that you guys are happy about. But there you go. When it officially goes live, that will be what you get. Now, if you are inspired by this and you're looking to start working on Marriott status, well, the Ritz-Carlton card is, it's still, I don't want to make this a teaser, it is still not open to new applicants directly, but of course you can get it. We'll talk about that in a second. But the Ritz-Carlton card is coming back in its all-metal form. Now, an email was going out to folks. I'll put it on screen for you. I mean, it just looks like a regular credit card like the old one did, just in metal. So it does look nice, but they at some point they had switched to plastic, probably for cost savings. But it's still a $450 card and a Visa Infinite card, making it at the time the only Visa Infinite that was like plastic. And granted, Chase metal cards aren't really that great. They're still a little flimsy. I mean, the platinum and the gold are still solid metal cards. But anyways, Ritz-Carlton is going back to the metal design. I do know that makes some people happy. I do prefer metal cards as well, but metal generally means either expensive or not very good, as we'll see in a second. This card is very good, though. Again, if you want it, you can't apply directly for it. It is on the Chase side of the Marriott Marriott Amex split. But if you were to get any other Chase Marriott card personal side, keep it for a year and then phone in. You can still product change to the Ritz-Carlton. So if you're inspired by the benefits you get at MGM and you like metal cards, well, then, this could be an option. I do think the Ritz-Carlton card is a good card and one they should probably bring back to the current lineup, honestly. But return to metal, not too bad. It does look like a nice card. But if you want a metal card, you don't think $450 is enough money, or you don't think the platinum card is set $700 is enough money or enough luxury, well, then Atlas has you covered with the new Atlas credit card. We'll take a look at this now. But really quick here, if you remember, it was called Point Debit Card. They had a real run in the doctor credit community because it was a cashback debit card, and you could do these spending streaks, and you could actually earn a lot of points on a lot of things. And I think the people end up were driving it out of business because it's a small community, but it's an expensive community. They got a hold of it. They just kind of went after it really hard. So they were going to make an annual fee card. I think it was called Titan card, and then that never really came to fruition. So now they're back with Atlas cards. Let's take a look at this, see what your money buys you, because the annual fee is $999. Multipliers. 5x on Blade, that's like the helicopter ride service. 3x back on your highest spend category, and then 1 back on everything else. Benefits: access to Atlas Supper Club. So this card is kind of like focused on like exclusivity around dining and things like that, being able to get into the hot places, I guess. You do get a clear membership or $189 credit for one. The star of the show here is that you get some level of like flight cancellation that you can do without incurring fees if you book them on the card. It is up to $600 annually and $100 per claim. In addition to that, there is a one medical membership. You do a cafe membership, I've never heard of it, and then future fitness training membership, that's about $25 per month, up to $300 annually. So overall, in classic fashion, you can make some of your money back in credits. The Blade thing is like weirdly specific. I don't know. I guess, for that one person out there, like if you were booking Blade helicopter rides often, well then you probably would do well, because I imagine Blade helicopter rides are not the cheapest thing in the world overall. It's just going to be interesting to see how this catches on. I don't think it will. I think it's a really big price tag, and I think the people who can already get into these restaurants and stuff that they're looking at probably already can get in, so I don't know if it's really going to catch on for $999. It is like fully metal, though. It does look nice in their defense. It is as you would expect from a metal card, but back to the last story, if something is metal, in my opinion, it usually means it's expensive or it's not very good. There are some exceptions. I think the Wells Fargo autograph is kind of metal. It's a little flimsy metal, but still, I get my point. So this is what you get. I don't think it's going to work out very well, but I do think they're trying to recover from all the money everyone took from them with the Point debit card thing. So there's that. But, if you find yourself on a helicopter ride or traveling somewhere and you find yourself going to one of the New York airports, well, then now, if you're a Chase customer, Chase Sapphire Reserve card holder, there will be 2 new lounges for you. We knew these were coming. One is officially open and one is coming next few weeks. We'll probably talk about it. So the one that you do have on screen for you to start, New York, LaGuardia Airport. So again, from Chase's site, this is going to be in Terminal B. Opens 4:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Amenities, again, local food and beverages. So fresh and seasonal menus, including select chef-created items from NYC restaurant Joseph Leonard. You have cocktails by somebody and curated wine list from Parcelli. You can tell I never go to these places. Self-serve and barista-made offerings from NYC-based Joe Coffee and a selection of teas. Very nice. In addition to that, the spaces, as they say, spaces for working or relaxing on 2 levels. Wellness area. You've got private and accessible bathrooms, as you would hope. Nursing and family rooms. Features, again, they've got the Wi-Fi. They've got works of art curated by the J.P. Morgan Chase Art Collection. Okay. Digital experiences to enhance your stay with a la carte ordering and access to magazines and newspapers. You don't need any of that. Just go watch this show and repeat on their high-speed Wi-Fi and you'll be fine. So overall, you've got that. And then, of course, JFK is going to get a Sapphire Lounge very soon. I think it's going to open in the coming weeks. I haven't seen a lot of pictures of it at the time I'm taping this, but if we find some pictures, again, you'll be looking at them now, put them up. And overall, I mean, it's nice to see the network finally opening up. We have talked about this for quite some time, and then it is like probably just in the nick of time, to borrow cliches. We've seen Capital One unveil some more lounges over the past few months, so Chase does need to compete, especially with that Venture X still out there, still for right now, even though we talked about it potentially losing a benefit last week, still being the Sapphire Reserve's most direct competition. I've never really thought the Sapphire Reserve competed that closely with the Platinum. They're just trying to do 2 different things, so again, there you go. You've got some new lounge options. Nice to see. But overall, guys, that has been the news for this week. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week. And right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And as we said, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, where we have news stories just like this. We have bank promotional offers and we have credit card offers. Some of them are metal. They are better than the ones we've talked about here. Some of them are free and plastic, though. So go ahead, take a look, take your pick, earn some money, why don't you? But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon this week.